Federal government approves 50 billion naira to assess 5 northwest states affected by banditry. Minister of Defense called Nigerians to continue praying to end security challenges. Egypt angry as Ethiopia fills Nile Dam reservoir amid water rule. Good afternoon. Today is Monday, 25th of Safar 1444 after the Hijrah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, equivalent to 11th of September 2023. I'm Amina Ibrahim Shahada with the news. Vice President Kashim Shettima has held President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for approving 50 billion naira to assess 5 states engulfed by the menace of banditry in the northwest for infrastructure development. Shettima disclosed this during a condolence visit to the Emir of Argungu, Alhaji Samaila Muhammad Mira, in his palace at Argungu over the death of a prominent Islamic scholar, Sheikh Abubakar Giro, who passed away on Wednesday last week. He explained that President Tinubu had a very good intention to assist the people of northern Nigeria, especially the northwest, where armed banditry and kidnapping were rampant. Shettima, who named the states to benefit from the funds to include Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, and Kaduna, said that due to politics, Niger and Benue State were also co-opted, adding that Kano and Jigawa State are not directly affected like those 5 states he mentioned, while assuring that 1,000 houses will be constructed across the affected 5 states very soon. The vice president said the project will either start from Kebbi or Sokoto. The Joint Committee for the Association of Private Schools, an umbrella of all private schools in Kano State, had threatened a shutdown with the state government as schools resume today. Sawaba has reported that a special advisor to the state governor of private schools, Alhaji Baba Umar Abubakar, had in July announced the cancellation of the operating license of all private schools in the state and asked them to renew it before they resume operation in September. However, briefing newsman yesterday in Kano on behalf of the proprietors, one of the conveners, Engineer Bashir Adamu Aliyu, asked the proprietors to open their schools on Monday as planned. He also calls on media houses and other members of the public to be on the lookout for any eventualities as school resumes today. The Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badru Abubakar, has appealed to Nigerians to continue praying for an end to the security challenges plaguing Nigeria. He made the call in Abuja while receiving a delegation from Jigawa State led by Governor Umar Namadi. The minister said that with the complexities of the security challenges and other aspects of national development, one could only ask for prayers to succeed. While expressing optimism in tackling the enormous security crisis, the former Jigawa State Governor canvassed for the support and prayers of all Nigerians in order to encourage peace and stability in the country. Earlier, the governor, who led traditional rulers, religious leaders, and business community and public office holders from the state, said that the purpose of the visit was to congratulate the minister and assured him of their support at all times, and further reminded the minister that Nigerians have high expectation that he would prioritize and deal with insecurity in the country. Hadija Emirate Zakat Committee has launched this year's Zakat distribution exercise at Adamu Maji Farm in Hadija. Speaking at the launching, the chairman of the committee, Barrister Abdul Fattah Abdul Wahab, called on wealthy individuals to give out Zakat. He said Zakat is as one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Its compliance will purify wealthy and brings harmony within the society. Represented by a member of the committee, Malam Yusuf Abdurrahman, called on beneficiaries to make good use of it. Earlier, the secretary of the community, Engineer Ismaila Garba Pardi, said bag of rice, unicorn, and meat worth millions of naira were collected from the farm and distributed to beneficiaries. The Agroclimatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscapes, ACRESAL, in Jigawa State, says it has trained 120 large-scale farmers on new farming technique to boost food production in Ringim, Gumel, and Hadij Emirates. The state project coordinator, Alhaji Yahya Muhammad Kafingana made this known during the training program held at Hadija Skills Acquisition Center. He said the workshop will enable the participants to learn more on quality and improved seeds. The coordinator further advised the participants to make good use of the knowledge acquired to improve food security in the state and boost their socio-economic well-being, and also commended the facilitators for a job well done. From our neighboring Yobe State, the United Nations Children's Fund (UNICEF) has collaborated with Yobe State Contributory Healthcare Management Agency to enroll 7,000 zero-dose children for pre-healthcare services in Gulani and Gedam local government areas of the state. Dr. Muhammad Lawan Kana, the State Commissioner for Health and Human Services, stated this at a one-day stakeholders meeting in Newby. He said through the partnership with UNICEF, 3,500 children from each area will be covered with a prepayment plan to access primary and secondary healthcare services in all the Yobe State Contributory Health Care Management Agency accredited and engaged health facilitators across the selected local government areas. Moving to the international scene, Egypt has voiced anger after Ethiopia announced it has filled the reservoir at a highly controversial hydroelectric dam on the Blue Nile River. Ethiopia has been in dispute with Egypt and Sudan over the mega project since it launched in 2011. Egypt relies on the Nile for nearly all its water needs. Also, Egypt's foreign ministry said Ethiopia was disregarding the interests of the downstream countries. However, Ethiopia said the $4.2 billion dam would not cut their share of the Nile water. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed admitted the project had faced internal and external obstacles, but he said they endured all that, and the dam began generating electricity in February 2022. The plan is to generate more than 6,000 megawatts at the dam, which is about 30 kilometers from Ethiopia's border with Sudan. Egypt and Sudan argue that common rules for the operation of GERD must be agreed, fearing that energy-hungry Ethiopia may exacerbate their existing water shortages. Negotiations over the project resumed last month, having been suspended in 2021. India formally handed over the G20 presidency to Brazil at the closing ceremony of the annual summit of the grouping that was held in New Delhi this weekend. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi completed the transition by handing over the ceremonial gavel of the presidency to Brazil President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. India has had the presidency of the G20 since December 1st, when it took over from Indonesia, and will continue to hold the position until November 30th. During the two-day summit, the bloc adopted a consensus declaration that made commitment on several issues, including food and energy security, climate change, and global data vulnerability. The Indian Prime Minister has yesterday also proposed a virtual summit of the grouping at the end of November to assess the status of the suggestions and proposals put forth by members and determine how their progress can be accelerated. Rescuers are racing the clock to find survivors in the rubble more than 48 hours after Morocco's deadliest earthquake in more than 6 decades. More than 2,100 were killed in a disaster that devastated villages in the high Atlas Mountains. Aftershocks will continue to rock Morocco weeks or months, a seismological expert has warned. Remy Mossou, the director of the European Mediterranean Seismological Center, told Sky News that more than 25 aftershocks have already hit the country since the 6.8 magnitude earthquake. Some villagers say they are struggling to find enough space to bury their dead, as funerals can take place beside rescue works. Others are preparing extra gravels ready for more bodies, even as rescue operations continue. Also, the damage from the quake will take several years to repair, according to the Red Cross. And this brings us to the end of the news. And here is the recap of the major stories. Federal government approves 50 billion naira to access 5 northwest states. Minister of Defense called Nigerians to continue praying to end security challenges. And from the international scene, Egypt angry as Ethiopia fills Nile Dam reservoir amid water row. On behalf of the News Department, our editor Lukman Dahiru, our continuity announcer Halima Hassan Ibrahim, I'm Amina Ibrahim Shahada saying good afternoon.